Hello everyone, my name is Bagus SETYAWAN from Management. I will present English for General Purpose Module 14. And the topic is number 1, how we approach Society 5.0, 2, merging cyberspace Society 5.0, 3, knowledge intensive society, 5, data-driven society, 4, industry 4.0 and society 5.0. And this number 1, how we approach Society 5.0. The schema of Society 5.0. The basic schema of Society 5.0 is that data are collected from the real world and processed by computers, with the result being applied in the real world. So what makes Society 5.0 different? Instead of having its system operating within a limited scope, such as keeping a room comfortable, supplying energy, and serving. That's the trends run on time. Society 5.0 will have system that operates throughout society in an integrated fashion. However, in the case of Society 5.0, cyberspace does not just mean a space for exchanging vast volumes of data. It also means a space created by computers network for analyzing problem and modeling practical real-world solution. When the computer system of Society 5.0 analyze raw real-world data, they must do so using a structure that mirrors the real physical world. And number 2 is merging cyberspace Society 5.0. In the previous section, we learned that the underlying mechanism of Society 5.0 is the merging of cyberspace with the physical space or real world. This section further clarifies what such as convergence means and how it can benefit society. A. Modeling real world issue. Cyberspace is the electronic world inside computers. Data from the physical space or real world are analyzed in cyberspace so as to define solutions for managing or improving society. Once the solutions are implemented in physical space or real world, the outcomes are evaluated, which generates data. This data is then input back into cyberspace for analysis, and if there are any problems, further solution will be delivered. B. Understanding how services are interconnected. When the convergence comes to fruition, models that had until then been generated paternally in each system will become interconnected in cyberspace. Consequently, we will come to see how different services interconnect. How will the insight benefit society? We rely on many types of service, including those related to energy, transport, water, healthcare, public security, distribution, retail, education, and entertainment. It may appear that each service is separate, but they are in fact interconnected. To build a better society, we must learn to see how services interconnect and devise solutions accordingly. C. Accumulating and sharing knowledge. Services are not the only things that can be linked in cyberspace. Cities can be linked with other cities and societies with other societies. By modeling a city or society in cyberspace and linking it with other cities or societies, it will be possible to extrapolate existing knowledge. Let us consider an example. Imagine that you have analyzed some data pertaining to a given city using a certain methods. These methods might be applicable to another city. As the two cities have different environment, the result of your analysis in the second city might have limited use in their right form, but the analytical methods itself is applicable to both cities. Now let us say that you implement a strategy in one city and record the outcome. Whether the strategy proves a success or a failure. The lesson could be applied to other cities in many cases, like uses case data on solution. The problem in Japan may be applicable to emerging national, terribly crossing physical and temporal barrier. 3. Knowledge intensive society. Society 5.0 identifies three elements that drive social innovation: data, information, and knowledge. In this section, we clarify what these three terms mean and describe the way in which society 5.0 constitute a knowledge-intensive society. What is a knowledge-intensive society? Data becomes useful to us once we convert it to information, and the into knowledge hitherto this conversion process has been driven by human-computers interaction. In society 5.0, the process will be driven without human intervention. Of the three elements, human will only gain greater opportunities to access all derived knowledge, the final output of the conversion process. How will this change affect society? Like other developed nations, Japan evolved from a labor-intensive society in which production relied on the effort of a massive workforce into a capital-intensive society which was focused on tangible goods and was based on mass production and mass consumption, both of which resulted from industrial revolutions. In the capital-intensive society, cities developed around seaport and airport, where tangible goods were clustered. 4. Data-driven society. First, let us see how the data-driven society is defined in the government literature. The term features in the literature even before Society 5.0 was proposed. This report defined a data-driven society as a society where the above mentioned CPS is applied to various industrial societies, thought, digitization, and networking of things using IoT. And the digital data is converted into intelligence and applied to apply it to the real world, and then the data acquire added value and move the real world. In the quotation, intelligence equates with the information and knowledge discussed in the previous section. More simply, the data-driven society is a society where data are converted into information and knowledge, which then drive, or as a literature say, move in the real world. So how exactly does data drive the real world? It driven the world into different ways. First, data-driven the world indirectly via humans. That's its first resources of data inform and guide human decisions making, which then affect change in the world. Second, data-driven the world directly without the mediation of human. Those automated process, let us consider example of both. 5. Industry 4.0 and Society 5.0. 4.0. There are some differences. However, Industry 4.0 advocates smart factories, while Society 5.0 calls for a supermarket society. In addition, although both visions advocates the development of cyber-physical system, the scope of development differs. In Industry 4.0, CPS is to be developed in the manufacturing environment, while in Society 5.0, it is to be deployed across society as a whole. In the case of Society 5.0, one key challenge concerns how to optimally balance the needs of society with the needs of the individual. We cannot achieve progress until we solve the problem. The actors involved in policy and technology must coordinate with each other so that everyone understands how its policy proposal of technological development fits into and contributes towards Society 5.0. Otherwise, this actor will push their own particular technology or policies in an uncoordinated fashion without understanding how they fit into the large picture of Society 5.0. Thank you for this presentation.